gentlemen, welcome to Casting the Spotlight episode number 170. So,
lucky number 7.
70 was a solo also. And so 170 is incidentally milestone, and this will be a little later when it's released, but technically our St. Patty's Day special.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's 170, 17, March 17.
Yep.
It lined up again.
Lucky number 7 on St. Patrick's.
Look at that. But we've had a hell of a lot crazier, but mostly better weather the past week and a half.
Yeah, it was.
That storm almost fucked everybody.
Yeah, it was mainly good besides that storm Friday night. Friday night was wild for a little while. But
did some damage around the Jeffco area, the Arnold area.
That's the Midwest in the spring.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the crazier ones we've had in a while.
For sure.
But that's just the kind of shit that can happen around here.
And now it's like the weather's going to try to be cute and be like, oh, it'll be like, 50s, 60s the next fucking couple, weeks or whatever. Looks like cold winter may be out of here. It's going to speak too soon.
Yeah,
but I mean, how deep?
This morning.
Well, yeah, but it's not like it's starting that way and then getting to 66.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nonetheless, that's what I like to see, though, better weather in March.
We're getting there.
That's what I like to see. You think we should bounce into this here segment?
Yeah, we can.
So, this time we drew actors.
Yes.
As we are going through the gauntlet. If you're familiar with this segment, we draw a category and pit that thing up against, you pick a main thing after you pick a category. Say for actors, there's obviously tons of examples. And that person, actor, actress, goes up against 10 other things, other people.
Mm-hmm.
But because you can apply that concept to anything, TV shows, movies, all the things we've done,
Yep.
Beverages, food. So
today we're doing actors.
Actors, baby. Who is?
So I'm going first.
You're going first. Who is your main guy or girl?
You will be running the gambit with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Tom Hanks or Nicolas Cage.
Oh man, okay. Man, they've both got quite a few movies that I do actually enjoy. That's the thing. Like Nicolas Cage, even that Willy's Wonderland I thought was entertaining. He didn't even say a word.
Yeah.
But
I really enjoy National Treasure.
The National Treasure movies, that movie Rage he was in had like a hell of a twist in it. And it wasn't that memorable since then, but I just remembered having a really unexpected twist. It was really good. He was really good in playing like Lieutenant John McLaughlin in World Trade Center.
Yeah.
He can play roles, and he's a good actor, I think.
Yeah, my dad was really into Gone in 60 Seconds.
There's
so
that. He's been in a lot of stuff. What are some of the most of note things you think
that Nicolas Cage has been in?
Yeah, well, I actually watched something for the first time as a holiday movie, The Family Man.
Oh yeah, that was.
I had never actually. I don't think I had ever seen that.
He was Long Legs.
Yeah, he was Long Legs most recently.
that
Dream
movie.
Scenario movie too. He was in just a year or two ago. Whenever he was having the dream about like him doing crazy things, and people would always have the dream about him coming to kill him and stuff. You should watch that one. It's actually really good. It's kind of horror.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I was just looking at that one. He was also the unbearable weight of massive talent that he kind of played like himself. Him and Pedro Pascal.
Yep, I didn't see that. Did you?
No, that one got really great reviews though.
Okay.
He was Dracula in Renfield.
Didn't see it.
I saw that one.
I was gonna watch it.
He played a decent Dracula. It was like a comedic one, but a mom and dad movie. I've heard about that, but I haven't seen it. Ghost Rider. He was also Ghost Rider.
He was. He did good in that.
Yeah, he's had a handful of, Lord of War.
Tom Hanks, and I'm running the whole thing with Tom.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, see, he's been in some stuff like that I remember. A lot of people put over that Face Off movie he did with John Travolta. Yeah. I've actually never seen the whole thing in completion. Maybe that's something I should watch, but I did see The Family Man.
Roger, like, really talking that movie up one night, but he was so excited about it that he, like, couldn't tell anything to me and Tyler about it besides that he stole a guy's face. That was, like, the whole... He's like, you guys gotta watch that movie, man. This guy, he took his face, man. He went in there and he stole his face. I knew that from the title.
Yeah. Kick ass. I stand corrected, by the way. I didn't look at it, but I just remembered it's not Lieutenant. It was Sergeant John McLaughlin. So, no disrespect. He's a hero. He fucking got pulled out.
He did.
But anyway, I just wanted to correct that one. So 2 Ghost Rider movies. And so he dabbled in some other stuff.
National Treasures.
I guess. I actually did see Snowden. I guess he was like a backup character. The who the fuck was in that? Jared Leto. He's voicing the Spider-Verse movies too. Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man, Noir.
Yeah.
Versus Tom and his films, man. I would probably have to go Tom Hanks over Cage. But honestly, I would go as far as saying if Nicolas Cage were a Good, the Bad, and the Shits, I would actually say he's underrated. He's not
a lot of shit.
He's not one of my very top, but his ability to translate to every genre and be good at pretty much everything and be sympathetic, be like a villain, he's pretty versatile in all the stuff he can do, you know?
Yeah, I would say I don't think Nicolas Cage is a bad actor, but I think he's been in some bad movies.
A lot of people have.
I'd say.
A lot of people have.
But it's just more notable with Nicolas Cage because it seemed like he was just taking any role for a
while.
Well,
he was, because he did that to get himself out of debt because he was a notorious overspender.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were talking about a few episodes ago. But you would think a lot of those people would have the money. That's the thing.
But not him. Dude, he was like buying his own tombs, like his own, what do they call that when you're buried above ground? I forget. I was going to say mausoleum, but that's not right. It's something like that. But he like bought his own space in like a cemetery in New Orleans, and he just, they all end up spending their money on wild shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's just what happens. So you take Tom Hanks over Nicolas Cage.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Tom Hanks or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good question. I've probably seen more Tom Hanks films than I've seen Arnold. You know, for sure.
He's one of the all-time action stars, basically.
He is. See, that's what it would help his case, Mr. Schwarzenegger, because if I had seen some of his biggest stuff, I don't think I've ever seen the first Predator.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Did we not watch it one? I know we watched Aliens even a couple times, but I don't think we watched. I don't know if we watched Predator.
They're good. That whole series is pretty solid. I mean, some of them are not as good as others, but I definitely could say the same for Alien.
Tom Hanks was, of course, Woody.
Yep. Tom Hanks has been a lot of classic things.
He has.
Arnold's
one of the fucking all-time most accomplished box office draws ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's one of those guys. He was a movie star. Like if his name was on the movie, it would sell because of his name, not the movie. You know, He was one of those guys.
Yeah, they would look at Arnold in any scenario just because his name was bankable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really still is. I mean, he can still draw. He is actually one that 100% achieved the American dream.
Oh yeah. It's funny too, because like Arnold, he started doing some comedies and stuff in the 90s, and he could translate well to comedy, surprisingly, just because it was like this big, like, jacked dude with an accent that, like, he just kind of seemed like he could translate to just being kind of oafish and, like, wholesome. You know what I mean? Because you did, like, in the 80s, you mainly saw him as, like, the action guy.
Yeah.
In the 90s, he kind of started doing some comedies.
Yeah, he started to kind of... Yeah, and then I've seen Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
There was that one with Danny DeVito where they were twins. Remember that bullshit?
Yeah. That shit
might have been called Twins. I don't know.
The Expendables. He was in that too with Sly and with a lot of those guys. Steve Austin was in the first one. I never saw. I don't think the Expendables 3.
Stars in them. I think I only saw the first one.
I think just because I've seen, not just because, but I've seen a lot more of Tom Hanks' bigger films too than Arnold's. That does make a big difference. If I remember, see, that's the thing. I don't think I've seen Total Recall. I think I've seen The Terminator. I don't think I've ever seen T2.
Yeah, I've seen the first.
Or the third one.
Yeah, I've heard T2's.
And if I haven't seen
the first.
If I haven't seen Predator, then that is a lot of his big stuff I still have yet to see.
Commando.
Yeah.
Twins was the name of that movie.
I'm just more familiar with his story than necessarily all of his films individually.
The Last Action Hero. That was the one that I thought of Arnold's that was kind of underrated.
Yeah.
It was like an action figure kind of come to life thing.
Oh, that's cool. Last Action Hero. I thought he wasn't a bad Mr. Freeze, honestly. Like, I thought the movie was a girl. We don't have to spend, like, a lot of time on that. People will be like, you talking about Arnold? You talking about fucking that movie? Sadly, that's one of his movies that me and you have both, together and separately, spent the most time watching. But that's a fact.
We grew up on it, yeah. I'd say
we both of us, because we both grew up watching it a lot, and it was just like
part of that series of Batman movies.
And I'm sure we've at least watched it together maybe once, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we watched all the Batman Returns, Forever, and Robin together.
I think on that note, I'm gonna have to go with Hanks. I want to see more Arnold movies, and like, you know, who knows? He might be. I know his story. That's what I'm more familiar with. You know.
Yeah. He's a badass bodybuilder too. Yeah. You know. Yeah, he seems like a decent dude.
Wasn't he in
his old age? He'd be kind of cool to hang out with.
Wasn't he in that bodybuilding movie, like Stay Hungry or something?
I don't know.
And that was like the debut of Robert Englund. Like in that movie, I'm pretty sure that's right. I think that's a fact. But it came out in like 1976.
It's funny.
But I think it was like
Robert Englund in a bodybuilding movie.
Yeah. No, well, he wasn't. I don't think he was doing that. He might have been like a janitor or something. I don't know. I don't think he was. Yeah, just fucking ripped.
Freddy hat.
Yeah.
Just fucking hitting curls. Hitting poses. Alright. So
I do like Hanks a lot, but I've still never seen Sleepless in Seattle. Philadelphia, I've never seen that. I've never seen several of his big ones either.
I've seen a lot of his.
I have seen a lot of his. I have too. And Castaway, I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's certainly top 10. I don't know where it goes. It's shifted. It's never been number one. I mean, maybe for a moment in time it was my favorite movie at that time, but it wasn't like necessarily, it's favorite ever.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been pretty close. It's been like even in the top 5 mix for me before. But I would still say it's probably my top 10. But, you know, your taste changed. Like, we don't have the same exact opinions of what our top 10 probably would have been 8 years ago.
No.
As it is now. Because some things, too, is like, you start to really get into some stuff more. So if the old stuff doesn't, you know, if it might lose its spot, you know, might not hold up.
Yeah.
But there's certain movies
you also discover more things.
Yeah.
It's just it's ever, especially with things like film and music and things like that. Like there's such an expansive library of those things that like you are constantly discovering stuff that you haven't seen or heard before. That's even old. That you're like, oh, this is fantastic. It's just it's art, you know. Art never stops. It started and never stopped.
Nope.
So, but Tom Hanks is up to zilch, I believe.
Tom Hanks, yeah, I've seen just some of his really big stuff. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I still think Castaway is an underrated movie. Like I've seen Forrest Gump, yeah. I'm not as high on it as 90% of the population is.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Every now and then, like I'll probably watch it.
It's not one of my favorite movies.
I might watch it like once every 5 years, you know.
I think A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, because I'm probably a big Mr. Rogers fan, is a part of that. But I really thought he did great in that. I thought Saving Private Ryan was a fantastic film.
That's one of the great war movies.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
And then him and Steven Spielberg produced Band of Brothers and The Pacific, which were like great too. Castaway was really
Even
good.
that movie, Mr. What the hell was his, or Otto? I actually saw that in theaters. It was like the beginning of 2023, maybe. Or A Man Called Otto. I actually did watch. That was actually pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen Captain Phillips still. You remember that?
Yeah.
About the pirates and all that shit?
That was Captain now.
Yeah. Because that was based on a true story, wasn't it? Yeah. I remember that shit at the time. What are the other ones of note, speaking of Hanks, though? But he does have some huge ones, and I'm like, man, you know, it's hard. Because, like, I don't know where Hanks would rank all time for me. I mean, he's not number one, but he's been in some work that I have high regard for. That's what I'll say. It's like he appears frequently in things that I hold up high. Yeah. The original Toy Story, like one of the great Pixar movies of all time. Castaway, one of my favorite movies of all time. Fucking, Toy Story. I just named that, but what the hell was it? What was it that came out? I'm trying to think of his most recent movies.
Wasn't he in?
He was in Catch Me If You Can. Him and Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. He was good in that.
That was good.
The Green Mile.
Catch Me If You Can was a Scorsese film too, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
DiCaprio.
That was a good one. Yeah, and him. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Then he was Sully too. That one about the guy that landed the plane in the Hudson River.
Didn't see it, but I remember that. That was one that I kind of wanted to watch. See, his name does draw too. I mean, not necessarily always. His movies always do well, but not everybody is the mega fucking hit that Arnold is. You know what I mean? And there was a time too when him and Sylvester, like those were the guys to go there for. You know what I mean? Like they were the big action stars. Like they owned, like the 80s and 90s in that sense. Yeah, we just named a bunch of Hank stuff though, but those are all ones like The Green Mile, great movie. Catch Me If You Can, great. Like that's just the thing is, some of them are so fantastic.
Yeah. So it's 2-0, right? Tom Hanks. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one, this might get a little harder. We'll see.
Good.
Tom Hanks or Adam Sandler. Different kinds of things, but
they are, yeah.
I know you like Adam Sandler.
There's probably there's not a lot of actors that I've seen, maybe nobody that I've seen more of their movies than him.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's got so many when you look back. I'm like, man, I've seen for sure over 30 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You saw all of his work for a while.
Everybody was seeing them because they were on VHS. They were they'd come out in the theaters frequently. Every year he'd be doing one or two.
Just an era of comedy.
Yeah.
And now he's got the Netflix films every few years. It seems like a couple years.
I would say you know, as great as some of the Hanks movies are, man, like, I don't know, I would probably have to say Adam Sandler over Hanks as far as being, like,
a fan.
I'm still, whenever I see his name on something, it has enough to draw me to it to possibly watch it. Like, I finally watched the movie Hustle that he was in, that, you know, how, and then I was like, and then that started me on my little Sandler kick after, like, right after Christmas. I watched, like, 13 Adam Sandler movies. And, but they're so easy watches. They're, like, hour-and-a-half comedies most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some are better than others, but most of them are at least pretty good. You gotta be honest. Like, most of them really are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like him, you're not gonna like any of them. But
that's true. He's himself in everything.
Yeah. But
he plays that
true.
guy.
And it's not the style of movie that, her, thank God, I hate him. Her performance saved it. It's not that kind of movie. He is the main guy for sure. But he earned it. He deserved it. He made himself a fortune and he made his own production company and made a fuckload of movies that he wanted to make.
Yeah.
He said he's not sorry for any of them. Like, he's like, that's, you know, he just did, he wanted to make it be what he wanted. And honestly, I feel like for the most part, those movies always had, like, a pretty, they were always, like, warm-hearted at the end anyway, and things got better, or, like, he understood, like, you know, what happened, or why he fucked up, or maybe somebody else fucked up to him. You know, I always thought it was a good, simple story. Like, they were always harmless comedies, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The end, he typically always had a change of heart and a message in the movie at the end.
If he was the fuck up.
Yeah.
In it, yeah.
So Adam Sandler with the win.
Yep.
All right. So 2-1. Tom Hanks or Jennifer Aniston.
Tom Hanks. No, and like I like Jennifer Aniston, a lot of stuff, but I mean, a lot of the time she's not really. I'm not saying she can't be the lead, because she can.
Yeah.
But she's not the lead all that
She's
often.
co-lead
You know?
a lot.
No, that's a good. And sometimes people play that role, same as like, and this isn't not like a down mark at all. Jonah Hill, terrific leading man, but he is almost perfect sometimes when he is either the co-lead or the second lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that he's had tons of flaws in his performance or whatever, but like his second performances, like his secondary lead, not to take away from, I mean, somebody's got to be second. And frankly, why would you be pissed at that anyway? You're the second biggest character in the movie. That's still probably paying you a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
You know? So, but no, that's not a diss. It's just like some people play that role better, and like I could name a lot of other roles. I mean, but other things like Friends, obviously, like she was the one and only Rachel Green, and she played that role fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like really what she got a lot of notoriety in. I've seen her in stuff that not a lot of people have seen her in, like Office Space, the Mike Judge movie. She was like, you know, they had kind of had a thing for a little bit. Like she was in that. She was, you know, with the breakup with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, she was in a lot of like rom-coms.
A lot,
pretty good.
But that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's in We're the Millers. Like she was in that.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, and that's no disrespect to Jen. I mean, I still like seeing her and stuff. I mean, she's still fucking pretty attractive, you know.
Yeah. She's
like a 60-year-old.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what her age is, but it's got to be something like that. 58. Yeah.
So Tom Hanks, 3-1. Tom Hanks or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Damn. You know, I've seen quite a bit of The Rock's work too. I mean, we were both naming off some of the stuff. Obviously, most recently, Red One, you know, or Gridiron Gang back in the day, Walking Tall back in the day, The Rundown back in the day.
I thought Jungle Cruise was pretty good.
Jungle Cruise was pretty good. I saw Pain and Gain. Honestly, I thought that was one that a lot of people were higher on than I was. Because when I watched it, I was kind of like, how does it not have a negative review? Because I was like, all these things that they say have just a terrible review, and it had a good one. And I was like, this seems exactly like a movie you guys would fucking hate. And somehow it had a pretty good review. And I didn't really like it that much. I didn't hate it, but I was more sour than taking a liking to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a 5 out of 10 at best, in my opinion. And it had Wahlberg, and also that's the thing, it had Wahlberg and Dwayne, so it was like, it had higher expectations for me too, and I was still like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, there have been some Snitch. I did like Snitch, where his son got arrested because his friend sent him like some ecstasy pills or something, and there's a tracker in it.
I remember that.
He wanted to do the job for the police, like, you know, going down to Mexico and hauling some drugs back and forth, you know, because he's like, oh, somebody's got to do this or whatever. And he's just like, I'll do it. He's like, if you know, get rid of this sentence, just eradicate it and stuff, because he's like, oh, he's a 17-year-old kid, he fucked up. But that was actually a pretty good movie. That came out in like 2013.
Yeah.
What are some other ones recently? I saw
ones.
Black Adam too.
Yeah.
Not the best.
He was in all the Fast and Furious. Well, not all of them. But
Some of
in
them.
that series.
Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7, and then I guess the newest one or whatever. Was that 10 or 9 or something? Or
Yeah. Fast 10, I believe, right? X, wasn't it that one? Yeah, Fast X.
He was in San Andreas with Alexander Daddario. Oh, yeah.
He's in Red Notice, that Netflix movie.
Red Notice. He's
Rampage.
just gonna be in. He's just gonna be in all the Red 1, Red Notice.
Baywatch, Central Intelligence with Kevin
Baywatch.
Hart. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I did see that. Saw that once.
The Other Guys.
The Other Guys is good. Granted, him and Samuel were in 4.5 minutes of it.
Get Smart. Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah, long time ago.
The Game Plan.
The game plan wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was.
Be Cool.
Be Cool was great.
The Scorpion King.
Scorpion King wasn't too bad.
There you go. That's The Rock for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of those actually.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird because like I've seen a lot of his films, but he's not. You know, I don't know where he would rank all time. You know, he's been in a lot of. I feel like he's been in some stuff that is underrated, but now it's like, for name value, all these movies are supposed to be just hitting, and not all of them do.
Mm-mm.
You know. But I will say some of his stuff from back then is kind of underrated now. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's gonna switch it up soon because he's been in a mode for a while where he's just been the action star Rock. He's kind of played that guy for a decade. People liked it for like 7-8 years, and now people are like, okay, come on. And I think he's gonna be in a movie this year where he's playing like an MMA fighter or something. It's a A24 movie.
Yeah.
So it might be like a more dramatic role for him, and maybe we'll see a little more range again. You know.
Yeah. I mean, some of them have been fine. Like action movies can still be good, but he wants to become something like that. He wants to become a brand like Sylvester, like Arnold were. That's what I always thought too. I was like, but he does have something down, is that he is that like characterized of an actor to where he wants him to be the draw, and like that's why people come in, and they do. So I'm like, he's kind of, you know, and those are two of the most notable guys that did that for name value alone. Like sometimes people can do that now, but it's kind of guys that are good, but they don't necessarily draw, you know, smaller budget, large box office draw movie, or even some of those guys eventually got big budgets, but even their smaller ones were, after a few of their bangers, were just flourishing at the box office, you know?
Yeah.
Sly and Arnold. But that's what he wanted to become. Like, he wanted to become one of those top names that he is the reason you are coming to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the draw, you know? But some of those other actors, it's not necessarily been the same. Like, their movies do well, but they're also, like, not just action stars. A lot of them are, like, good dramas, you know, or they do a lot of, like, drama and stuff in between, you know? Occasionally other stuff. But, like, Leonardo DiCaprio could still draw.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if it's the exact same. You know what I mean?
He's a movie star in a different sense.
Yeah.
Than The Rock is, for sure. The Rock is kind of like that action guy. You expect to see some fights, some explosions, some of that kind of shit in a Rock, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie. In a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, you expect to see maybe a shootout that could happen, but like a lot of dramatic dialogue, maybe some wild scenes, but it's gonna be a lot of dialogue and a lot of like dramatic acting.
Yeah. So okay, it was Rock and Hanks.
Yep.
I mean, I'd probably have to say Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Still, because some of his performances have kind of knocked it out of the park. More than I guess I can say about like some of The Rock's movies have been good, but I wouldn't chalk it all up to him being the one and only reason why some of them were good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, one of the best that's also underrated performances, I felt like he gave a fairly dramatic, good performance in Gridiron Gang for sure. You know, he did, and that was like drama. That movie, it was like real life shit.
Movie.
You know what I mean? That was like stuff that people go through.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I did like that one a lot.
Yeah, so I think that one's a little bit underrated even, but
yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with Hanks on that one. I do like Rock's movies. Like, I wouldn't say he's like the number one draw or even, you know, but occasionally when I see a movie concept like with him in it, it can interest me enough to go see it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So Tom Hanks up 4-1. Tom Hanks or Johnny Depp.
I'm gonna whip out the old filmography again.
He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Johnny Depp movies are Johnny Depp movies. Like, they're kind of like his things. He kind of takes over the role, you know.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of different, a lot of versatile shit. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff with Burton, some of his really eccentric roles.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. Platoon. Oh, fuck, he was in that. Apparently. That was his third movie.
Maybe we did see him.
Edward Scissorhands. Freddy's Dead. What's really important is if you get that on your filmography.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have
that
Freddy's Dead in there.
Guy on TV cameo credited as Oprah Noodle Mantra. What the fuck?
Crybaby. That was an early role.
Yeah, as long as he's got that. He could have ended it right after that.
Nah.
I'm kidding.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yep.
You remember that one?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've seen Donnie Brasco or not.
Yeah, that was a big one.
I know I've seen Fear and Loathing because we watched it at least once together.
Yeah,
Sleepy Hollow. Blow, I've seen at least once. Pirates, the first two Pirates.
Night Gate, that's kind of an underrated one of his.
The first two Pirates. No, actually, the first four Pirates I think I've seen at least. I mean, I didn't think Stranger Tides was the greatest.
Yeah, the first two were really good.
Yeah, those are the two that I'm more familiar with. But, you know, I always thought the Dead Man's Chest, yeah. I always thought that was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Hell yeah.
You like that more than the original?
I don't know. That's tough. It's a much different. It's very Tim Burton. Tusk. That was a big one for him. The Lone Ranger.
Sweeney Todd, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. That was whenever guys that looked somewhat similar to Heath Ledger stepped in to help finish the movie. Because he filmed part of that movie and they didn't want his performance to go to waste. So, like, Johnny Depp and, like, another guy, like, kind of filled in to finish the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of shot around him or made him kind of look a little more. They said because Depp resembled Heath Ledger, or they resembled each other in some ways. They're like, well, and Johnny's like, I'll help him, finish the movie and stuff. Alice in Wonderland, The Tourist, I've seen that once. Rango.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows was pretty good. Dark Shadows pretty underrated.
I honestly liked The Lone Ranger. A lot of people hated on that one.
Didn't
I
see
kind
it.
of enjoyed it. I liked that one. The Rum Diary, that was good
Black
too.
Mass.
Yep.
That was pretty sick.
The Rum Diary was another Hunter S. Thompson story, like Fear and Loathing.
Mm.
Black Mass was a good one. There you go. Johnny Depp. A lot of his movies.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff that I've seen. I've seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a couple times at least, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it's pretty. He's pretty funny as Willy Wonka in that.
Mm-hmm.
Which would it be? The JD or the TH?
I know we gotta keep the dialogue going here while I'm taking my sweet ass time. Okay, here we go.
Plotting it over here.
I know. I'm trying to look back at some of A League of Their Own. I did see that of Tom Hanks's. Forrest Gump. I've seen Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story 2, The Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can. I think I already said that. The Polar Express.
Played, yeah, a lot of voices in that. That was like the stop motion shit too with the dots.
Those are all ones that I've seen. Where the Wild Things Are. Did he do like a producer or something?
Might have been a voice of one of the creatures
Where the
too.
Wild Things- Dude, that was one of my all-time favorite books growing
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Angels and Demons, I don't think I saw. Toy Story 3.
That was like the follow-up to the Da Vinci Code, I think.
Captain Phillips, yeah. Saving Mr. Banks, didn't see any of those. Wow, there's a whole lot that I just haven't seen that I probably just forgot about. Solely, there's definitely been a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood I did see. Elvis I did see. That was good.
Yeah, he kind of played the son of
Did
a
you
bitch
watch?
in
Yeah,
that,
did you watch
didn't he?
that?
No.
Oh, you should watch that.
Oh
You
yeah, he
should
played the
definitely watch that.
manager, and I know Elvis's manager was kind of a prick.
Yeah. A Man Called Otto. Man, As great as Hanks is, I feel like I see a little more like versatility in Depp's work, maybe.
Yeah.
So I might have to go with Johnny Depp by maybe a little bit, but that's not one that I was necessarily prepared for. So I don't know, because like some of the performances I've seen Hanks give are some of the best I've ever seen in anything, But I don't know. Johnny Depp can play a lot of roles and make him his own. Like it's kind of weird whenever he's kind of more of himself, or like he's not really playing himself, I guess, but whenever he's more of. He doesn't wear all the makeup and the changed hair and everything,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The characters he plays. But yeah, I'd probably take Johnny, at least by a little bit. I was not prepared for that one though either. Not that I'm prepared for any of them.
Well, there you go. Got one more on the board there. So 4-2 in favor of Hanks. So Tom Hanks or Jack Nicholson.
Oh boy. Jack the Crack Nicholson. Jack, man, he lived his
He's one of the legendary actors.
He is. He's the only other one that's gotten 3 Best Actors other than Daniel Day-Lewis, except Daniel Day-Lewis's were all for the lead, and one of Hanks's, or not Hanks, Nicholson's were for supporting actor. Dude, Nicholson, I really wish he would have been doing stuff like the last 10 years. He should not.
He was too,
He should not get too old.
Yeah, and then I think it got to a point too where he kind of was he couldn't really do it anymore.
Well, I thought that he had still, been doing. I don't know, man. Nicholson is one of the great actors.
He is.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen. I'm not even sure I've seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Did you?
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
Steven said he really likes that movie. He saw it before, but he would always talk about it.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I should probably give it another watch.
The Shining, obviously.
And Danny DeVito in it too. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Batman, he was the Joker. As good as it gets, I did watch that because he's kind of somewhat of a perfectionist in that. He won one of his best actors for that.
Mars Attacks, he was the president. Yeah, As Good as It Gets, that was a big film.
Anger Management with
Something's Gotta Give. My parents like that one.
I think I did watch that one actually too. Yeah, because I had never seen it. The Departed, The Bucket List.
The Departed was a big one.
Yeah, this is why he should honestly just do something else, because that How Do You Know movie, it was fucking bad.
I've never watched it.
And it had known people. It was one of those movies with known people. It had
I can tell.
It had Owen Wilson, was it Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
And was it Paul Rudd or something like that? And Nicholson. And okay, right? You know that holiday movie with all the stars in it that I ripped it apart? It was just like that, except not a holiday, and it was fucking awkward, cringy, and fucking weird. I didn't understand why the drama scenes, nothing made a damn bit of sense.
Who the fuck put this together, and why did you guys all agree to do it? It was
on the level of not making sense, the third act of fucking Planet of the Apes 2. You know what I mean?
Or all of the room.
Yeah. Yeah, or the ending of Glass.
Yeah.
So I'm no, you're what did you say? I've never seen it. Now I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't think I want to.
No, and this is what I mean. How can you be a legendary actor? No, I'm sure nobody, even Jack, doesn't probably give a fuck, clearly, because he's got his money and he's just doing his own thing. But, and he's watching the Lakers play, all the things that make him happy. Season tickets. But it's if it were me and I was one of the greats of all time, I ain't going out with that piece of shit.
Yeah, and now
he should pop into something.
Now it's been a long time.
I know.
2010.
Years. I know. I wish he would do something else. That would have been cool. It might be too late now.
Yeah.
But you might want to smudge that one off his filmography. Somebody, the Bucket List. That'd be a perfect one to end with.
That was a good one.
So I've seen that. I've seen a lot of those. Yeah, I don't know, man. He is one of the greats for sure. I think I'm going to take him over Hanks. I think so.
Nicholson.
It felt like the movie had a professionality level to it with Hanks, or not with Hanks, but with Nicholson, that he was just,
it's crazy too, because he was
it was an arrogance.
A drinker, and he experimented with some drugs and stuff, but he was a professional feeling actor. He felt like he was whacked out, but that was what he should be to be Jack Nicholson. You know
almost he comes in the room to do a scene, everybody stands up kind of thing. You know what I mean? Not literally, but that's the kind of, it's kind of his presence demands everybody goes up a level, basically. You know what I mean? They shot, and this is one of those Jack Nicholson heyday, I'm sure, things, and whenever they were shooting Batman, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton one, and they put his name as the first name, the draw, as the draw, instead of, because it's usually Batman in a Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they put his name first. But he got paid probably the most for that.
Easily.
They shot around his schedule, that whole movie. Because they shot that motherfucker. If it came out in 89, they were making it at least a year or two before that.
A pretty big name.
Yeah. And so that was after The Shining. That was after a lot of those early things that he was in. And, I know, he demanded perfection, you know, while he was on the set. Like, he wanted it to be. I mean, I thought he did a really good job. Like, for the Joker, nobody can say, even if that's not your favorite Joker, nobody can say he did a bad job as the Joker, you know? It was just what that role was, you know? The comic-y. I don't think I've ever seen About Schmidt. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
I was actually watching a few Jack Nicholson movies. I don't know when that was. Maybe within the last year or two. Because that was whenever I watched Something's Gotta Give and some of those other ones for the first time. Yeah, I don't ever watch How Do You Know. Just remember Jack Nicholson for everything you've seen him in.
Yeah. I need to rewatch The Departed because I haven't seen that in a long time, and everybody's like, that's a damn good
Oh,
movie.
it's great. It's got 4 fucking A-list actors in it.
Yeah.
4. And Alec Baldwin.
Hey, Vera Farmiga's in it, the girl that plays freaking Elizabeth Warren in the Conjuring series. She's in The Departed.
I don't think it's Elizabeth Warren.
No. What's her name?
No, I know. That's I know
Lorraine
Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
I was like, I don't think I watched a biopic on that bitch.
Who's Elizabeth Warren?
That fucking senator that Donald Trump called Pocahontas.
Oh. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, maybe I know her. Like, maybe that's where the name came from in my head. But I'm like,
the one that was freaking out because all their pharmaceutical lobbyists invest in them. So her and Bernie Sanders and a whole bunch of other ones were freaked out because he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna eradicate all that shit. And you guys are not gonna get the funding for that." Oh, you can't flopping her hair around like an idiot.
Pocahontas
with that fucking Nana haircut.
Nana haircut.
Oh shit! No, I'm glad you thought of the actual lady's name though, because I was like, I was like Lorraine Warren. I was like, it's got to be right.
Because I was
last
like,
name is right.
I just mixed Ed and made it a. Because I was like, I think it starts with an E.
What was the last one?
Jack Nicholson, and you picked.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Jack.
So that's 4-3.
Still in favor of Hanks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks or Jamie Lee Curtis.
Probably still Tom Hanks, but I like Jamie Lee Curtis and a lot of the stuff that I've seen. Mm-hmm. I really hope that like Freakier Friday is a compliment to the first one and the whole more than fucking like don't.
It's kind of cool though.
Don't make
see
it.
Lindsay Lohan now like, on the other side. Oh,
she
of
looks
this,
great again.
like,
Yeah,
coming back to do it.
Yeah. I would like to see them make a genuine effort to make it funny and not, you know what, you know what I mean, like not fucking too under the rug of let's fucking make it all like shitty.
Yeah.
With our bullshit.
Yeah,
Can you make it a genuine comedy between these two
though.
Women, like that? You know what I mean, like
because it's like the original ones are coming back. That's what kind of gives it some promise.
I like it. Yeah, I was gonna say I like that they're doing it, and the other thing was that was actually a movie that like our stepmom put on a few times I think back in the day because she liked that and stuff too, and like I had seen that pretty early. I also knew that she was in like those early Halloweens even if I hadn't really seen them. Some of them. But yeah, I mean, she's always been like a talented actress. Like, I still will go see, things that she's in that I think are like interesting.
Yeah, she pops up in things.
And she does. Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, that Everything Everywhere All at Once movie.
Oh, was she in that?
Yeah, she popped up in that movie.
Yeah. She would probably outmatch a lot of other like actresses to me, and like definitely a degree of certain actors and. But Hanks is one of those guys, too, that's, like, his films might be a little hard to beat because some of them are as good as they are,
Yeah.
Not all of them, and I certainly haven't even seen what are regarded as some of his greatest, but...
So, like, looking up some of her, she was Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah.
She was in the new Haunted Mansion, that was pretty good. Yep. She was in Knives Out, the Halloweens.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to see her now even... Like, even after the 3 Halloween movies, now she's in other stuff again. It's just like, damn, it's like she just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. True Lies with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, speaking of him.
Oh, okay.
My Girl, that was that Macaulay Culkin movie. I think that was sad as fuck.
Really? When did that come out?
1991.
Oh shit, I don't think I've ever seen that.
He was in The Fog too. That was an early one of hers. Yeah, she was kind of like a scream queen for a while. The Fog,
Yeah.
Terror Train, Prom Night,
Mm-hmm.
An Escape from New York. It's John Carpenter again. She's in a lot of his stuff. She was in 4 of his movies.
He approved of her job in the Halloweens, you know, especially the first one.
Yeah.
And she was in a bunch of stuff.
So Tom Hanks.
Yep.
5-3. Tom Hanks or Morgan Freeman?
I'm gonna have to pull up his filmography too, just to get a
Yeah.
just a recollection of everything. You do have to do it with certain people. I like, man, yeah. Nicholson just has one of those legendary. He's one of those guys too that I would love to go back and watch some of his great films that are regarded as like some of his best, you know, that I haven't seen. But yeah, Morgan Freeman. I mean, he's all time. He is all time.
And Now You See Me movies. Those are pretty decent.
87. Is he bald and he's got an ear? He's had the earring for a while. But is he bald now? I guess. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. 87. Dude, yeah, and Unforgiven, I've seen The $1 Million Baby, The Shawshank Redemption, 7, The Dark Knight trilogy, Glory, Gone Baby Gone. I've seen all those that he's in. Damn, yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff, man. Been in a lot of
he's
good
been
stuff.
acting a long time.
Mm-hmm. His first thing was 1964. The Pawnbroker. Role Man on Street. Wow. You saw Glory, didn't you? Because you watched
yeah.
American History through films, didn't you? Take
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that movie a couple times.
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't I take that class? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
dude, I love films. I
Yeah.
love history. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm taking that.
And that's such an easy. Too bad it wasn't all year.
I know.
Yeah, me and Nick had that class together, actually. Didn't me and you watch 7?
We might have watched
I
that
think
together.
we did. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, 7. I mean, that was one of his Kevin Spacey and Brad Pitt. That like they all shined in that. Bruce Almighty, I'm God.
Yeah, he was God in like a few movies.
Yeah. You should watch $1 Million Baby. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, the fighter.
That's a really good one.
I heard that's sad shit too.
The Bucket List, Gone Baby Gone, tremendous. Invictus, I've actually never seen that, where he's Nelson Mandela, which only makes sense.
Oh yeah, bro. Of course he's gonna play that role.
Only makes sense. I mean, I don't think there's anybody else.
Nelson Mandela. Let's
face
cast
the planet.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's like Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson, and Tom Cruise. You're like, who are we gonna pick? Well, Tom Cruise is a pretty big action star, so
we gotta put him in some platform shoes, but I think we can cast Tom Cruise as Nelson Mandela.
Oh man. Samuel's like, what in the hell?
I didn't even want this role, but are you fucking kidding me?
Oh shit. Or instead it's Chris Rock and he's like, listen, I'm only here because I'm black. Which is exactly what he would say.
But even still, they somehow picked Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Now You See Me, man. Oh man, Lucy. I did see Lucy one time. Ted 2. That was a big one for him.
It was his movie.
Damn. What the hell else was he in here? And he just keeps going. He's still in like 3 movies a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's been around forever.
I might have to say Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I might have to say Morgan, yeah, over Tom. I don't know, like that. You know, because here's the other thing. Morgan isn't often the leading man.
Yeah.
You know, he's a lot of the times like the second guy, like the second guy, the buddy. But like Morgan, he's also been in so many. You know, I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite movies too, The Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people regard it as the best movie of all time.
Yeah, I never said that. It did blow my mind the first time I watched it though. I was literally like wide-eyed and didn't know what the fuck to think. And it was sick. It was such a fulfilling film too.
Mm.
It's probably on my top 15 though.
Yeah.
Of all time.
So Morgan Freeman for the win.
Yeah.
So 5-4. What are we gonna do here?
It's a good question.
Tom Hanks or Daniel Day-Lewis?
I mean, I've personally seen more Tom Hanks films, but
well, he's done a lot more too.
he has.
Daniel Day-Lewis
He
is very selective, I feel
He
like,
is.
with his movies.
no, and he's one of the greats ever at executing a role to exactly the effect that he wants to, and like do his best, you know?
Yeah.
Like Lincoln, There Will Be Blood, and I forget the other one, but if you've never seen There Will Be Blood, that was fucking dope.
Yeah, that's like one of his
You need to watch
best
that.
rated ones.
You need to watch that for sure. You know what it's about?
That's like an oil dude or something.
I watched it whenever we were at the apartment, actually. Or when it was at mine, I'm not sure.
The Last Mohicans, that was pretty dope.
It says the film follows miner turned oilman Daniel Plainview as he embarks on a ruthless quest for wealth during the Californian oil boom between the late 19th and 20th centuries. And he just took over just a whole bunch of shit. Like with this. Like, I mean, there was literally like, you know, but his acting was, I mean, that was one of the...
He gets like into it.
That was one of the great fucking performances for sure.
Like any role that he takes, I feel they like to say he like embodies.
What I would say about this film is that it was great, but like it was almost fully reliant on him.
Mm-hmm.
But like it absolutely is all it needed to sell it. Like even if you don't, that's the thing is like you might even have a slight or somewhat interest in the premise of it in general, because like there's that and everything too. But like his performance alone is great enough to watch the film because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see him like play it out like that. I mean, I think, and Tom Hanks is one of the greats, obviously, of all time, and you know, convincing actors like they can really sell and make you believe. But I even might believe that Daniel Day is perhaps a better actor than Tom Hanks. But because I've seen definitely more of his movies. But that's the thing, I haven't seen a whole lot of Daniel Day-Lewis's movies, but I've seen Gangs of New York, Lincoln, There Will Be Blood.
Have you
probably
seen
another
The
one or
Last
two.
Mohicans?
No,
I was gonna say that's a pretty good one too.
I need to watch that. Didn't that have, who else did that have in it? Of note.
Let's see here. I don't know. So there was a lot. It was like kind of a Native American kind of movie. Didn't look like anybody on his level, name wise.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see that. Have you ever seen The Last Samurai? The Tom Cruise movie?
No, I
never
wanted
seen
to
it
because
either.
I I'm like very interested in like samurai history and
Mhm.
stuff. I've like read up on it, watched documentaries on it and stuff. So I'm surprised I haven't watched that movie.
That's Tom Cruise, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I've never seen that either, and like that would be probably a good watch. Yeah, I think because I've seen more of. I mean, honestly, if I watch more of Daniel Day-Lewis's movies, every single one of them has knocked it out of the park for sure. You know, that I've seen. So, but the body of work is stronger with Hanks, so I'm probably gonna have to go with Hanks.
All right.
But I honestly do believe Daniel is as good of a convincing actor as anybody I've ever probably seen on screen. You know, I mean, he puts everything.
He's a
into
strong actor for sure. So 6-4 in favor of Hanks.
Yep.
Speaking it out.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's just do yours too. Why not? All right, so we got up for you. It's 6-4. Hanks won.
Yep.
Interesting.
You took. Let's see who you took over Hanks here. You took Johnny Depp. You took Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson, and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
the
about
rest
right.
went to Hanks.
Hanks, he's been a shithead lately anyway. Okay, well, next up, we got actors. But this is Elijah's he's got to answer for. Your main guy, I feel like that's how I usually say it, is going to be Liam Neeson.
Oh boy.
And he's going to have to face a fucking gauntlet of guys.
Yeah, I was going to say I like Liam, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will. Look at our socks, man.
Yep. Got
They're
the
looking,
green.
yeah, they're looking pretty good here. All right, Liam Neeson or Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, man, Batman, the first live-action, non-goofy fucking Batman.
Yeah, I'm trying to looking up some.
He was in Jack Frost,
movies.
one of the great.
Oh yeah.
You had to cut me off. I was getting ready to say some important shit. One of the great Christmas movies of all time.
Is it?
Yeah.
One of the great of all time?
It's one of the best. So that's a big highlight for him, obviously. Fucking, I mean,
Michael Keaton's played some iconic characters.
No, yeah, no.
Beetlejuice, Batman.
Beetlejuice, too. And, dude, like it or think it was weird or whatever, fucking Birdman was pretty damn interesting. Like, it was pretty damn good. Did you like that, or like what did you?
It was alright.
What did you
think?
think?
Interesting. I mean, it was well acted on his part.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a random. It was star power pack too. Like Zach Galifianakis was in it. Edward Norton. Trying to think of a few more. But yeah, you might have to look at who's you looking at.
I just kind of skimming through both of them here.
Yeah. And Liam's obviously been in the Taken series. He was Qui-Gon Jinn.
He's been in a lot of,
he was the trainer of Batman. He was in the Narnia films, right? Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans. We watched both those. He was Zeus. Liam Neeson. A Walk Among the Tombstones. It was almost Taken like. Yeah, he was obviously the trainer of Bruce Wayne / Batman. Trained Obi-Wan. Don't fuck with him. This guy trained Batman and Obi-Wan.
He was Oscar Schindler.
Yeah.
Man, probably have to go Liam Neeson by a hair.
Over Keaton?
He's played more iconic characters, like more things I've seen that I'm like, oh fuck yeah, and I can be like, that was kind of his thing, you know, like he kind of
Darkman. Have you ever seen Darkman? It was
I heard about that one.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to check that one.
It was
out.
actually pretty good, the first one. I've never seen the other ones. I think the only one he's in is the first one, so that tells me it might be the only one.
Kind of like a dark comic booky sort of thing.
So yeah, I would recommend if you're gonna watch one, watch the first one. It was pretty good. It was, it was weird because it was also like using some of their early technology and CGI kind of stuff in like '94. Yeah. So, you know, same.
Some of those early '90s CGI attempts.
It was either '93 or '94.
Especially like horror movies, you're like,
It was
You should've
also
just done it practical, man.
I think it was also right around the same time The Crow came out too.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson over Michael Keaton. Probably didn't expect those names off the bat.
Yeah, it was kind of a tough one.
All right, next we got Liam Neeson or Eddie Murphy.
The man.
Oh man,
man.
he was Donkey. He was
Beverly Hills Cop,
Yeah, he
Coming
was
to
in that.
America, Norbit.
No, he was in some good stuff. Some silly shit, but some.
Oh yeah, I mean it was all kind of silly, but that was him, you know. Freaking.
He was in that movie Tower Heist. Did you see that? My sister we had a little.
I don't
she
think
liked
I
that
have
for a
seen
minute.
that. Actually.
Yeah, that was actually pretty.
He was Mushu.
Yeah.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. Oh yeah, he was the youngin in that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's the thing, though. I haven't seen Axel F, so I'm not going to judge that one too hard. Coming to America, why did you make it? I watched it. Just kind of one of those, it's nostalgia pop thing, you know what I mean? There was no reason for that movie to exist, really. Probably have to go Liam Neeson again.
Okay.
The Haunted Mansion, though, that was a good one for him, too, I will say. Eddie Murphy had some hits, man, especially as a kid. I liked some Eddie Murphy, but like I said, Liam Neeson just played some iconic characters.
Oh yeah.
Dolomite.
Yeah, we watched that. Now, that was one of the ones you gave me on the movie segment.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda like that one, Candy Cane Lane. You People, did you watch that? I haven't watched that. Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. It's a Netflix
What was it?
movie.
Oh yeah, I did watch it. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
Liam Neeson. All right, so you took Liam over Eddie?
Yeah.
All right, well, next up, we got Liam Neeson or Michael Caine.
Wow, I didn't think that name.
No, I know. And I was thinking too, I was like, should I remove him from the list or should I keep him in there? I'm like, because he was Alfred, obviously, in the Dark Knight trilogy.
I know, I mean, I've seen him in quite a bit.
He was in Now You See Me. He was in Secondhand Lions, Interstellar,
yeah.
Kingsman, The Secret Service.
I mean, yeah, you see him pop up a lot.
Tenant. I don't think I saw that, actually. But yeah, he's been in Inception. He
Austin Powers Gold member.
Was he in that?
It says so, yeah.
Oh, shit. No, that's definitely not a name you would have.
Muppets Christmas Carol, he played Scrooge.
Did he?
Yeah.
There's no way I believe that guy has a fucking mean bone in his body.
The way he looked in that movie, he kind of was like,
Yeah.
he was pissy.
No, dude, he was a great Alfred.
Yeah, he was. That said, Liam Neeson.
Just killed him.
Don't say that. He's
Yeah, well, no, I know. Don't say that. All right, well, maybe it gets a little harder here, maybe not. Next up, we got Liam Neeson or Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah. Paul's great. Because he can play like some serious, he can be pretty serious when he needs to be, but he's also funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might take Paul, I think. I think that might be the
Paul
first
Rudd?
squeak win
Okay.
there. It's because there's been, like, just even kind of skimming through here, I'm like, even when he wasn't the lead in some things, I enjoyed him. 40-Year-Old Virgin, Anchorman, Night at the Museum, Walk Hard.
Yeah.
You know, let's see here. I mean, obviously Ant-Man. He's in the new Ghostbusters movies. Anytime he popped up in something, year one, he always was like, he stole his scene, you know?
Yeah. Anchorman, dude.
4-Year-Old Virgin, that was a pretty good comedy.
Yeah.
Anchorman. Those movies, man.
They were tremendous. Man,
You know, I don't know,
Anchorman,
like, here's the thing. It might be even a hot take. I don't even know, like...
First Anchorman's way better than Talladega Nights or Step Brothers.
I don't know if it's one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies or not. I don't...
The Other Guy is another good Ferrell movie. Elf,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Is he in this list? No, we'll see. So, Paul Rudd, yeah, probably a little bit.
You think? Okay, Paul Rudd by a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, well, next up we got Liam Neeson or Mila Kunis. Who's going to win the fight?
Man. Trying to think of, like, all the things I've seen Mila Kunis in.
She was in, obviously...
obviously Jackie's what pops
Did you
up
see
in your
Black
head.
Swan with
I have before.
Natalie Portman. Honestly, and like whenever I watch it with an open mind. I swear wasn't even trying to judge it. I was like, this might be interesting, psychological. I was not a fan of it. Like the premise, I was just like, what the fuck is this? I thought there was gonna be some really creepy horror stuff that they were gonna, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just wasn't at all what I thought it was gonna be. So that's one movie that people put over that I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see why. I didn't think it was awful, but I don't really have that many good things to say about it.
Yeah,
wasn't.
We might have watched it together.
We might have. And it wasn't Natalie Portman or Mila Kunis' fault. It was just, this is just a weird script, and what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
That was I don't know what you took from it, but that's what
I didn't really take a lot of note from it. I mean, I don't remember too much about it, so that probably says something. I haven't watched it since, so. Meg,
fucking obviously Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, we spent more hours watching her as that than anything.
Yeah. Ted. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Friends with Benefits.
Mm-hmm. Which, Friends with Benefits is pretty good.
Bad Moms, movies. I will say I've always been very attracted to Mila Kunis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. That said, I'm gonna probably gotta go with Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I figured. Milo is gonna be in stuff for decades to come. You know. But he does have a strong. That's the thing too. Is like Liam. I knew it was like he's not like your tip top, but I know you liked him in several things, and he does have like a pretty lengthy filmography.
Yeah.
That he's been in some good stuff. So. What is that? Fucking 4-1. Liam Neeson's kicking some ass, man.
Is it 3 or 4-1? It's
4-1.
Damn.
He beat up on Michael Keaton, Eddie Murphy, Michael Caine, and Mila Kunis.
Yep.
Next up is Liam Neeson or Denzel Washington.
Ooh.
You saw Training Day, right?
Oh yeah. American Gangster.
Dude, Training Day was
Gangster.
one of the great fucking performances.
Oh yeah, that was a great performance by him for sure. Flight, that was another one of his movies I liked a lot.
I want to see the Equalizer movie. I don't think I've ever seen even the first one.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the other ones. Yeah.
Dude, he's just American Gangster, man. American Gangster?
Yeah, I loved American Gangster.
Like...
Yeah. Man on Fire, that was the one freaking Joey Diaz always
Dude,
brought up. I don't know if I've seen Man on Fire.
His take of Malcolm X was fucking tremendous.
Yeah. I haven't seen that either.
You need to watch that. We're going to watch that.
Remember the Titans? I've seen that.
Remember the Titans, oh yeah. Dude, Denzel is one of those guys, too, to where he feels like the game is upped. You know what I mean? When he's there. Like, he's so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Denzel.
He's so good.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of, like, great roles.
Denzel. By a little, at least? or by a lot. He's
mean,
probably been.
I would say it was probably one of the eeasier decisions, but that's not taking anything away from Liam.
I would say if I'm looking at this list so far, him against all these people acting alone, he's the best one. I mean, Liam is probably number 2 or close. Michael Keaton's a good actor too, but I think Denzel's he's just killed more roles than most actors, you know?
Yeah.
But he's also an intelligent guy, and he picks scripts that are actually fucking good. You know?
Yeah, that he's gonna be able to do something with.
Next up, we got Liam Neeson or Dwayne Johnson, and I had him on the list already, before, you know. So I was like, that's just kind of funny. We did repeat that one. Was that the first one that's repeated?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Looked at him earlier, but
Liam Neeson or Dwayne, the final boss, Johnson.
I think, honestly,
Shit.
I might even take Liam Neeson for the fact there's rock movies that I enjoy, but none that I'm like, this movie's awesome. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
I love this movie. You know.
You did like at least the original Taken, didn't you?
Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, Taken was good. I watched 2 and 3. Obviously, they were only going to be kind of what the first one was.
I think I've seen the second. I don't know if I might have seen that whole series.
They weren't bad, but the first one was just awesome. Like, his whole speech and everything.
He was also good in Silence. That was a Martin Scorsese movie.
I can repeat that entire speech that he gave on the phone to, the thread.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was iconic.
It was. It was very iconic. I was just and then he went through hell and still got his daughter back alive. He had a very particular set of skills. Skills that he's acquired over a very long career. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. But yeah.
But yeah, Silence. If you haven't seen that, that's a good one. That's kind of samurai too,
really?
Priests and.
That's Liam? Wasn't he in
Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and Adam Driver?
Wasn't he in a book that we read in school? I forget what the fuck it was. It was probably in the 80s or 90s. It was probably in the 90s maybe.
He was in a movie. That was a book that we read.
It was The Crucible. That's what it was. I think that he was in that. I just remembered that. Does he have that on his filmography? It's probably
He's in Les Miserables. Les Miserables. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought he was in that. Maybe not. Alright, so you picked...
Probably Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson over Dwayne?
Yeah.
Okay. Definitive?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we got Liam Neeson or Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. What has she been on here? She's another one that I'm like, you know her name, you know her
She's
face.
been in The Mask.
Yeah.
She was in Gangs of New York too.
Obviously the Shrek movies.
The Shrek movies, yeah. She was in Gangs of New York. She was in
Any Given Sunday.
Was she in that?
Mm-hmm. Fear and Loathing. She had a small role in that.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels. Being John Malkovich. I haven't seen that.
No, me neither.
The Holiday. There you go.
Dude, that was just bad. And that was another one that just the script was fucking terrible.
My Sister's Keeper. Have you ever seen that movie? She was in that shit, bro. That shit's heartbreaking.
I'm trying to think.
It's she's an older sister, and her younger sister's got cancer.
That's not the one where her. I remember her being in something where, and this was bad. I was somewhere and it was just on TV, but her she was she had an affair with her sister. She was staying in her sister's place, and her and her husband were staying there, and she had an affair with her sister's husband, in their fucking house or something. I'm pretty sure. I'm that. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that was that.
That was no, I don't think it was that. And
I hope that that'd be even worse.
Yeah. I don't think it was that, but it was something. It was something like the early 2000s, maybe, that she was in. But I do remember her being in something like that.
Sweetest Thing, Vanilla Sky.
Wasn't she in like Sweet Home Alabama or something like that?
I think so.
Didn't see it, but I knew she was in it.
Yeah, I'd probably say Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Looking at filmography wise.
Stack
She has
deck.
been in a few things though that I'm like that I've enjoyed for sure.
Yeah, and she was in that
Green Hornet, Bad Teacher.
She was in What Happens in Vegas with Kutcher in 2003. That was a good romantic comedy, I would say.
2000. Yeah.
So you took Liam.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Liam, this is not it. This is second to last. The penultimate question here. Liam Neeson or Nicolas Cage?
Wow.
And those were I had those two repeat. So we only had two, I think.
Damn. See, I've never really been like a hater on Nicolas Cage either. Like, I don't think he's shitty by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in a lot of things that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
Looking at it here. What I will say about Nicolas Cage is a lot of the movies that he's in, they're kind of like Nicolas Cage movies. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, he stands out for being, oh, that's Nicolas Cage. You know, when he's in something, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you know. That
I thought he did a really good job at Longlegs being a creepy bastard.
Yeah, that was, he kind of like sunk into that role too.
Mm-hmm.
And The Wicker Man, that was one of the all-time worst.
Dream Scenario, you do need to watch that one though. I think you'll like that one.
Dream Scenario.
It was weird. It made you feel weird, that movie. Not in like necessarily a gross way, but it was unsettling, you know?
Yeah, I like The National Treasures. I like the Ghost Rider movie. The second Ghost Rider was, I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch them, but they should make new Ghost Rider shit. What are they doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're just waiting to cast them, but I don't know who they should pick. Unless they've already cast somebody. John Bernthal's Punisher just came back in the Daredevil show, I believe. So he'll be in that, and then he'll be doing another season as the Punisher and Frank Castle, which is good because John Bernthal is one of the great fucking actors right now.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Man, I think on this night right now, I might go Nick Cage.
Oh yeah?
I might.
Oh man. Yeah, he's been a lot of stuff that I feel like is pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't liked everything he's been in.
No, obviously, yeah, but
some of them I haven't
He has
watched,
had some range though, too.
The Family Man was actually a really good movie he was in. In his performance too.
The Family Man. Yeah. I think that's like a movie Theo always talks about. He's like, that's a good movie.
That's
man.
like sad. It's like sad though because he's just like wishing for this life, and then like he doesn't have the life that he didn't want at first, and then he was just like it just kind of it bummed him out and shit.
Yeah.
But it was like I don't know if that's one I'd watch like every year, but it was kind of a Christmas oriented movie too, and I'd never seen it before. But it came out like 2000.
Yeah, I heard that one.
So
before.
you're
That's
picking
one I
Nick
hadn't seen.
Cage, huh?
Yep.
So that's, Liam has been upset by Paul Rudd, Denzel Washington, and Nick Cage. So the last test here, was mine 6-4?
Yep.
Is going to be Liam Neeson or Jonah Hill.
See, and Jonah Hill's been in like a handful of movies that I've really liked.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like and he's had pretty notable roles in those movies.
Oh yeah.
So I'd probably have to say Jonah Hill on that.
He was excellent in Moneyball.
Yeah, that was like kind of a more serious role for him too. This is the end. Jonah Hill from Moneyball.
Yeah. He's like, and then Danny's like, I'm Jonah, I have a goddamn earring.
I think everybody should have the fucking same.
Yeah.
If Jonah, I have a goddamn earring.
He's like, shut the fuck up, Jonah.
War Dogs, I
Yep.
really like that.
Superbad, that's one of the all-time comedies.
Yeah. The Wolf of Wall Street. This
Great,
Is the End.
great performance in The Wolf of Wall Street, too.
Yeah. Get him to the Greek.
Hilarious. The Sitter, hilarious.
Museum movies.
21
Sarah
Jump Street,
Marshall.
hilarious.
Yeah. Knocked Up. Click.
Yeah, he was he was Paul Newman, or Paul Newman. No, it was something like that, though. It was Michael Newman. That's what it was. I Elizabeth Warrened it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Michael Newman's son. Like I think Jonah played his teenage son at the time.
The Sitter.
Because he let him fucking eat a bunch of Twinkies and shit. Those are his habits. And he's like, yeah, The Sitter, man, that was good.
Yeah, I'd go Jonah Hill.
I figured.
I like him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a few movies.
What has he
True
been in
Story.
lately? Yeah, True Story.
You People was like the last thing he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, but that was at least a couple years ago.
2023.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I think Jonah has definitely got some range too, you know?
Yeah, he can play some more serious roles for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what, 6-4?
6-4. I think the same as Hanks, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I didn't know what way that was gonna go. Actors. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people to pick there. Only 2 that overlap the whole list. So basically that's, you know, we had the potential to pick 22 people, and I guess we picked 20 different.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Not bad.
No. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for a nice little break here.
Yeah.
Come back in with a couple rounds of Good, the Bad, and the Shits, and hang tight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casting the Spotlight, or welcome back, rather. We are on episode 170, and it is now time for the Good, the Bad, and the Shits on an epic milestone here.
Yes, it
Man,
is.
the milestones just come like that, though, now. You know, it seems like it, because it's like, oh, we ran into another one.
We say every 10.
But yeah, we got, our 70th one was, it was like a milestone. It was the first one since, I think, like 20 at that time that we had like, one to ourselves as like a solo. And we might have done one in between then, I think. So,
Yeah.
either way.
Now I feel like we've had a few solos on the...
On the milestones, yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of milestones at this point, too. And the longer it gets, I feel like the more and more it's like a big one. You know, like 150 was big, and then one, you know what I mean? On the road to 100, I think every 10 meant a lot, you know? Anyway, what do we got on the slate tonight for the good, the bad, and the shits?
Well, I mean, I could really go a million ways with the football trades and contract extensions and just everything that's been happening this offseason. It seems like the past week and a half just been like every day something, if not multiple things. But one of the more recent things, one of the more kind of shocking things, what do you think about the Bengals paying both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? And Jamar Chase making him the highest paid wide receiver in the league.
Everybody wants to be the highest paid in their position right now, you know? Everybody wants to be that guy that's, you know, kind of like next up, I guess, on the board to get paid. But, you know, at a certain point, what did the Bengals sign? They paid T and they paid Jamar, right?
Yeah.
And didn't they pay somebody else too?
I don't know if they have this offseason. That's the thing, they haven't really done much
They
with their
need to have a
defense.
good draft, and they need to protect Burrow. You know, I mean, that should be priority one, not just having his receivers. Like his receivers, you know, you can find some receivers.
They were giving up 30+ points a game last year.
You had to score upper 30s or 40s to win any game.
So I mean, they're just banking on the Bengals scoring 50. They're paying
and
all
that's
the
just
offensive players.
That's the thing. It's like some of these great offenses, and the Bengals do have a great offense, but if you're against these offenses that are just fucking terrorists, like on the field, man, like they are just going to run through your defense.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna be able to block them. You're not gonna be able to. There's not much, you know, you can do if your defense is just get shredded like fucking Swiss cheese.
Yeah, the Bengals defense had a rough go at it this past year.
They were like one of the worst in the league.
I mean, Trey Hendrickson had a great year, but he was like the one shining star on that defense.
Yeah, and I think they're going to pay him too.
I mean...
But you need to pay some guys, you know? Burrow can't take another injury. Or, well, I guess they need to have a really good draft, though.
Yeah.
And see if they have anything else that they can do. But, I mean, I don't have an issue with them paying the best, you know, probably the best offensive players they have, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're investing a lot of money into those three guys.
Mm-hmm. It's also to make Burrow happier, you know what I mean? If he has his boys there, he's going to feel, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're all paid now, they're all there, but...
They need to make a run at it.
It is going to be... They got to do something good with their draft because they don't have as much cap space since they paid all those guys.
Yeah, and the cap space did get like an additional $25 million, I think, more for this season.
Yeah.
So it's like even on top of like the 14 they had last year.
Yeah, it's still though. I mean,
I know, no, it is. It is. And the more your quarterback has, like, and he's getting paid the way he should because he's one of the elite ones. But you know, you still gotta make sacrifices and decisions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I guess they didn't want to let T go. You know, they figured they were gonna sign Jamar.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen too. T, I thought might go somewhere, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they paid both of them. That's another thing is they paid two wide receivers a lot of money.
I didn't think they were gonna necessarily do that, honestly.
Yeah, they need to do something.
There's gonna be even heavier expectations. Like they cannot dick around at the beginning of next year. It can't be like, oh, you a slow start again. Like you've got to start off hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to be like 4-0. Like you need to just beat the fuck out of some people. I'd like to see the Bengals get back there again, you know, go pretty far.
Yeah.
At minimum, like get to the playoffs and see what the hell they can do there, you know. They didn't make it either the last 2 years.
No. If my hopes and dreams were had, the Browns would make it there next year.
I would not bank a lot on that.
I said if my hopes and dreams were had.
Yeah.
They're just the same division as the Bengals, so I'm like, part of me hopes the Bengals get there, but also not really because I want the Browns to get there. The
Ravens are probably going to fucking make the playoffs again. They're at least going to make the playoffs.
Are going to make the playoffs, yeah.
If not win, it's something. I mean, they can win a few games.
Didn't they sign somebody too? Or no?
Maybe.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
There's been there's been a lot of different, and I saw Kareem staying on the Chiefs.
Yeah, so they got Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Jackson, Isaiah Likely, Rashad Bateman. Right, isn't he on?
Andrews, right?
Mark Andrews. They got a stacked offense.
Justin Tucker with his...
Justin Tucker's probably done. I don't know. He had a bad last year. That was like the most pitiful season he's had. Easily.
Oh, yeah. He missed so many kicks.
So, yeah.
And obviously, the Rams, oh, we can't afford Cooper Kupp. And then they ship him out, and then they get fucking Devontae Adams. It's like, but you can afford him? I mean, he's better right now. Because if you look at the exception, season that Cooper had, his other numbers haven't been nearly that spectacular.
No, that was the season. But I mean, Devontae's an overall more talented, more versatile receiver, I would say.
Yeah.
He is on the tail end of his prime years now too. And he's spent too many of them squandering away on teams that were just like, what the fuck are you doing here, man?
Yeah, the Raiders, the Jets. I almost don't even think of him being on the Raiders though, because he was with Aaron again whenever he was with the Jets, and then that
he was on the Raiders for a couple of years.
He was,
too.
yeah.
Crazy. I remember being kind of excited when that move happened because I was like, oh fuck, it just felt big, but then it just nothing really came.
Because they had no quarterback that was gonna.
Yeah, he wanted to go there to play with Derek Carr because him and Derek Carr are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
But
Derek Carr just he fell out of the mix.
Yeah. He was still at it at the beginning of this year. He get hurt or something.
I don't know. Is he come back for the Saints? What the hell are they doing at their quarterback position?
Nobody knows.
And apparently nobody cares.
Banking on
nobody's talking about that.
I mean, yeah, there's a few teams that are what's their quarterback situation going to look like next year?
What are the Colts going to do? They bring him back? Well, I mean, they did sign Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones going to win that job.
Yeah.
I wanted Rodgers to go there. But if Rodgers goes to the Vikings, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll really happen or not.
That'd be sick. He was waiting to hear from him. But then now the other teams don't want to sit on their asses. The Steelers and the Giants want to figure out their QB.
The Steelers should take him, and then
the Steelers don't even fucking know what they're doing.
Then we can take Russ or something on the Browns. It's better than Kenny Pickett.
Take Russ on the Browns?
Yeah.
Who the hell's the Browns quarterback right now?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess he's it.
Well, that's who they picked up. They traded something for him. Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett, I think, to the Eagles. And then Deshaun Watson, he's hurt. He's done. I don't know what the fuck he's doing this year. So it's I
don't think, I don't think he's going to be starting.
No.
I mean, it's just unlikely, especially given the scenario and he's hurt and everything. I don't see.
He'll never be back, probably, in a Browns uniform.
No, I don't know. I don't think the league. I don't think he's probably gonna be done.
Yeah.
I feel like more than likely.
I'm glad we get signed Myles Garrett though. I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, Russell wouldn't be. I mean, they'd win some games. I don't know if they'd make that division's it's just really good still. I think the NFC North is better now. I think it definitely was last year.
Yeah, I say bring Flacco back in. We'll run it back with him.
But yeah, I think Daniel Jones is gonna beat out fucking Anthony Richardson for that job.
Yeah, that's the thing is they kind of want to move on to these next generations, but it's Anthony Richardson didn't feel even ready or capable last year necessarily. J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings might want to try to do it with him this year.
There's got to be something that's... But the fact that they're even entertaining anyone else puts, a question mark on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the hell is going on with that?
Coming off
because
that
he should be,
injury
but he should be...
Too.
It was, many months ago. Before, closer to a year than half a year.
Yeah, beginning of... Before last... before last season started.
So, I mean... He should be healing up.
But still, they might be kind of weary. He's coming off of that, and he's starting in the NFL for the first time.
Isn't all you need a decent backup though? Then for that,
yeah,
they're actually trying to pursue stars.
Maybe that's.
Aaron Rodgers is never going to back up for anybody.
Sit him a year behind Rodgers or something, or if it starts tanking, then they might pull Rodgers.
Rodgers would rather retire than be.
I know, but that's the thing is. I mean, there's minimal spots for him to go at this point. feels like.
Yeah, he's probably only got one more year.
I mean, there's minimal teams for him to even land at this point.
Yeah. And I'm sure if it's not the right fit, he's not going to go anyway.
It's coming off that pitiful year with the Jets. Just nothing went right that year.
He played more like himself towards the back half of the season, for sure.
Yeah.
It just took him a while to trust his...
But it still was just rough.
Yeah.
Especially for
but
that
Jets organization is fucking... cannot do anything right.
Yeah.
They can't.
But even still, you would think you guys are on the field. This is the offense.
I know.
Squad
it didn't make any sense.
On the field should be able to make something
It didn't make any sense. But they were just a team of just
now they're like,
bought and paid for
Devontae's
players.
Gone, Aaron's gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna be terrible. About $100 that they won't be better than 6 games.
Who do they got there now? Starting quarterback?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna go badly. I have no faith in the Jets this year whatsoever.
Oh no, I'm not taking them by any means, but
I'm gonna finish last in their
I think I always kind of root for the Jets.
I like the
Jets,
like the franchise, but it's horrible.
They're gonna finish last.
They're just dysfunctional. Nothing works.
Oh yeah,
everything is broken. It's like this will work
for a long time.
They've been like a duct tape it and hope for the best team.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's
They're
just
like
this,
the Browns.
This shit
too.
don't work. They are.
They've drafted so many quarterbacks and just nothing's ever stopped.
It's why they're probably the 2 most dysfunctional organizations in football. Dysfunction. Yeah. That's the word. I'm not saying they're the but they're as far as like they try to fix it and then it just fucking falls apart all over again. That is what always happens.
And the Bears have squandered teams
and
for the past 2 decades, 3 decades.
Yeah, and they've had talent on their team, but I mean, they have a chance. If this doesn't work, then they're one of those teams too. If this season doesn't work for the Bears, or at least potentially make the playoffs, I mean, I hope they don't. I hope the Packers beat them both times. I hope they go 0-6 in that division.
Yeah, you're not a Bears guy.
No. Not a Chicago guy for the most part. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind visiting and stuff to see, which I have once, but the teams, no. I mean, I'm not, and I don't even really hate the Cubs like that much or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chicago White Sox got the shit beat out of them last year.
Oh, yeah. They were like one of the worst teams
the Bulls
in history.
Were legendary when Michael Jordan was there, but they'll never be as relevant as that ever again.
Yeah.
But
I think the other baseball teams are probably my favorite.
The Blackhawks are fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, I don't like them.
So
of the Chicago.
I like to see Chicago lose. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, they're kind of rivals.
But no, I'm honestly not even like a Cubs hater. Like, I like the Cubs more than some of the Chicago teams,
Yeah, same here.
So.
Yeah, I like their baseball teams probably most. But what did you think, Chase and Higgins? Both.
I mean, I was fine with it. I think it's fair. But they need to also focus whatever money they can on other players that are, any way they can protect Burrow and actually give him a quality defense also.
Yeah.
They need to spend money in just more places than only offense. You know what I mean?
So I was going to say, I think it's fair at the moment.
I think it's, yeah.
But if this season goes like last year and the defense is bad and the offensive line is bad, everybody's going to say, well, that's because you spend all your money on 3 players.
Yeah.
So, but that was the Bengals owner. He was one of the owners that's known for, you never want to pay anybody. So he said, well, how about this?
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking
but
pay everybody.
But they need to fix their holes still. They really do. They've got to.
Badly.
Because it's going to make for a really frustrating dynamic and season if they go into it the same fucking way they came out of like the last one, And yeah, they had a good run towards the end, but guess what? Because they didn't fix any of those things early, it was just way too fucking. It was way too late. And no matter how good he played, at the end of the year, like, oh, it was dependent on somebody else losing. It's like, you lost too many games at the beginning of the season. Same as that, you know, when we were talking about the refs thing, and I'm like, okay, well, did you have a turnover? Did you have this? It's like, you can't say, oh, fuck, the Chiefs not playing and see, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, but why the fuck, who can, like, you should have won more games. And, like, I like the Bengals, but, like, they're like, if the Chiefs were little bitches, it would have shot their people. If you were the fucking coach and the general manager, you would have done the same thing. Why the fuck?
Yeah.
Us losing, we could lose the fuck out of this game, and it doesn't do anything to
Didn't
lower
hurt
our
them,
seeding.
So why would they care?
Nothing they would have done would have hurt their seeding.
Just make their bracket harder.
Yeah. It's like, oh, they lost one more game. Their season wasn't perfect already. They had one loss. So it's like, at that point, for sure, just have it.
Yeah.
Just take it. We can
Definitely
heal up longer, you know? But that's kind of the complaint. And see, this is where I try to be fair because, like, I like the Bengals. I'm definitely a fan of Joe Burrow, and I like both those wide receivers. But, like, it was too fucking late. You lost too many games, and, I mean, he tried his heart out, but...
Jamar did, too.
You know,
they both had great years.
No, they did. And look how many records, like, he set for his own team, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking heartbreaking for him, honestly. It's hard, like, it is hard not to like Joe Burrow, like, what he's, like, went through, what he's overcame, like, how far he got is not, you know, being, you know, on, especially on this franchise, but also, like, what he did in college, too.
Yeah.
And it's cool that he's adapted this well to the NFL, but, you know, we always just sound like broken records saying the same thing, but it's just, like, with him and the Bengals situation, like, you can't piss away a generational talent.
Yeah.
And not do everything you can to try and help him win a Super Bowl. You know?
Yeah.
Until you do everything you can, like, this is what's going to happen. So, I don't think it was a mistake by any means to sign either one of them. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. But right now it's fair. Not a big issue with it. Because T. Higgins would be a number one on at least half the other teams. So, they got a good situation, but they need to complete it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, their offense is stacked. It just paying all those guys, it's a gamble.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's paying players right now.
Yeah.
The draft is going to be fucking crazy, like, with all this stuff, too, going on. All right, so, yeah, I said fair. My one for you is the newly reformed Las Vegas Raiders with head coach Pete Carroll and quarterback Geno Smith. What do you think of that? You know, I didn't even realize that Geno Smith was as old as he is. I almost didn't remember any of his career before the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, he was a backup.
He was on the Jets.
He started as the Jets, yeah.
A lot of the guys that went there, are just broken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of the guys that got drafted, the Jets, left just a shell of what they entered the draft as.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense.
Jets just ruined their careers for like a decade.
And I think he went somewhere else after that briefly.
Yeah,
was it the Chargers or something?
He was a backup, I think, for a while, too.
He only went one other team for like a year after so it went Jets, and then I think 1 year somewhere, and then it went to Seahawks. Maybe.
Yeah, he didn't even immediately start for the Seahawks.
Yeah. So New York Jets 2013 to 2016, New York Giants 2017, Los Angeles Chargers 2018, and Seattle Seahawks 2019 to 2024. I didn't remember really any of his career prior to the Seahawks. I definitely did not know that he's been in the league since 2013. But I saw, like, I was like 34. Why does this not sound right? I thought he was close to like 30.
No, yeah, he's kind of a vet. Second chance guy, a little bit. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they're back together, reunited, because Pete always just liked Geno and stuff. Liked coaching him, so that's kind of neat. I think they'll definitely be improved from what they were this year. So they're like one of the worst teams in the league this year. So like, I definitely don't think they'll be that bad. You know, Max Crosby got paid. He's gonna stay there.
Brock Bowers is big time emerging.
Yeah, Brock Bowers, and that's the thing is Gino throwing to Brock Bowers. That's a little more of a reliable thing too.
Yeah.
Than Brock had last year, and he put up those numbers. So I think they'll be decent. Like, what's the hype around them though? Are people like thinking, oh, they're gonna be a big bounce back team, or
I don't know. I feel like there's question marks around it from what I'm hearing. It's just people
just
don't know if they should trust it. Yeah, exactly, because it's the Raiders, but people are like, oh, maybe there's hope. Like Pete Carroll's still a good like coach, and he hasn't aged poorly or anything like that as a coach. He's still like capable of the job, and
I mean,
Gino's still better than some, but there's no way he's like they're like, all right, he's our future. Like they'll have him for maybe a year or two, and then they'll probably try to
probably
find somebody.
There, a couple years, years depending on how they do. I mean, if he's still going good and Pete likes coaching him, then he might stick around for a minute. But they're gonna try to look at another option.
Yeah, he's kind of the transitional quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, he's still getting paid.
Chance to start though.
Yeah, he's still getting paid like quite a bit for being where he is and
Seahawks got it for a few years, and Sam Darnold too going to the Seahawks. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I can see that though.
See how that goes.
Being their guy.
They got Cup there now, and Jackson Smith-Njigba guy that he broke out this past year. I think that can fit for him though. He'll definitely have a better time there than he did with the Jets.
And Metcalf went to the Steelers, right?
Yeah, and they don't even have a for sure quarterback right now.
Of course they don't. Well, they're not
it's
making
like they
playoffs.
signed an elite receiver and they don't even know what their quarterback situation is.
I could see this being like a 9-8 year and them missing the playoffs.
The Seahawks?
No, the Steelers.
The Steelers, yeah. The Vikings, I will say I don't think the Vikings make the playoffs. Or the Raiders make the playoffs. I don't think so. This year. I do think there'll be definitely an improvement from this past season. There may be a 7-8 win team. Somewhere around
I think
6 to 8 wins.
I think Sam and the Seahawks are between 7 and 10 wins.
Yeah.
It we're 7 at most 10.
Yeah, that's probably. I would say that too. They'll probably. I don't see them. That division's tough too.
Yeah, and it also Sam's limited. In his capabilities, I feel like I
don't think the Niners are finishing first in that division this year.
No, the Rams are winning. The Rams for sure. I would bet everything on the Rams winning that fucking division.
Yeah, they got a good team.
As of right now. Like, they're going to be well-oiled and fucking ready to roll. And they got a good defense. They're fucking ready to roll. They have an early chance at possibly making the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, that's obviously far from definitive, but I absolutely think they're going to be in the final 8.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see them winning that division this year.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a tough year for the Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of shifting parts in that division too.
It's going to be I think the Cardinals are finishing 4th, Rams are winning, and 2nd place could definitely be a toss-up between the Niners and Seahawks, depending on how all that goes. Whether the Niners get their window's closed.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over with this team until it gets McCaffrey. He's just too old. He's not too old. He's not too old. He's just too worn. You know what I mean? He has. He's got a lot of mileage on those fucking tires.
Yeah.
So, he's great, and he is one of the greats.
They lost Debo.
But this was bound to happen. That they themselves acknowledged that they probably overpaid for Ayuk, too.
He's one of the highest paid receivers.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And now they're going to have to figure out this fucking Brock situation, Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pay him big-time money. I mean, you got to give him at best like what Baker's getting. And he's not as talented as Baker is.
Yeah, probably overall. We've seen Baker have to perform
The things
in the dirt, in
the
the
things
slums,
that Baker can do, like those games,
on elite teams.
those games where he had I don't know how many incompletions in a row and he threw like 5 touchdowns. I don't think Purdy can do that.
Yeah.
Like some of those Baker games that you just see.
Well, Baker is funny because he was just like throw an interception.
Yeah. Oh no,
back,
he has
throw a touchdown.
He's
was just like
an
he was kind
adult.
of one of those. Nothing really affects him. You
Yeah.
know, he'll come right back from an interception and march down the field.
He definitely seems like that's more of the case now too, like stability wise in the field.
Yeah.
Like than he was. It felt like some things kind of bothered him more like years ago.
Yeah, it's
But,
just being a young
yeah.
quarterback in the league too.
So I think the Bucs are winning the division. I think the Falcons will probably finish second.
Yeah. The South divisions are like kind of weak in both conferences.
Hey man, the Panthers can fucking finish second.
Yeah, they could have a bounce back this year for sure.
They won 5 games. I'm thinking they win. I don't know if they quite have a winning record this year, but I could definitely see them winning 7 or 8 games. In that division, 7 games might get you in second place. So, which is sad. But, you know, it is the
it's
fucking
South,
NFC South, so yeah. It's
AFC South sucks too.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, what do you think of the newly, this version of the Las Vegas Raiders?
I think it's fair. I think that they're getting coverage. People are talking about them. They're acknowledging that it's kind of exciting, but I don't think it's going to be an immediate turnaround because, like you said, like, I don't think Gino's bad by any means, but I don't think he's the overall answer for going to bring a championship home necessarily. And
That's the
they
tough.
got the Chiefs.
That's a tough fucking. They got the Chiefs. They got Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and they got Bo Nix and Sean Payton in the fucking Broncos.
Yeah, that's a tough division. So
that might be harder than the NFC North.
Yeah.
And
the AFC North's a tough division too.
I think that they might be a little tighter this year in the NFC North, even as tight as they were last year. But they might be a little because I think the Bears take a step up. I don't necessarily think anybody else. I mean, the Vikings will probably take a little bit of a step back compared to the 14 games. Maybe the Lions. But I do think they all win. Like this, I don't know. Depending on what happens with the Vikings, this could definitely be a tight race too. So, but those are like the best two because if this works with the Bears, they could all be pretty successful teams this year in that division.
Bears got Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be something different.
You think somebody else prevails and takes the division from the Chiefs this year? Not that the Chiefs wouldn't make the playoffs, because they'll probably make the playoffs.
Probably not. I think the Chiefs probably win the division.
Yeah. Might not finish the first seed though.
Hopefully not.
I know. But it's not like it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
The Bills can't beat them. The Ravens can't beat them.
Doesn't seem like it in the playoffs now.
Nope.
Doesn't matter if it's in Arrowhead or at the other team's home.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs find a way.
Well, you got something else?
Yeah, we can go. Some just real quick here.
Yep.
What do you think of the Dr. Scholl's foot inserts? Things you slide in your shoes, cushions.
Are those like those rubbery looking ones that they always used to have back in the day? I never really had them, but I knew.
I put them in all my work boots now.
Oh, do you?
I'm like,
they feel way better.
They just like throughout the day when you're on your feet all day, they definitely make a difference. They're like, there's like just a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a cushion there. not just like right on the sole. And after a while, it's like I might just be getting old, you know. Like I feel the pressure point like up there, like by my big toe, and like down by my heel and stuff. I'm like I gotta get inserts for my shoes, man. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I never were talking about earlier, like if I'm gonna eat chili, it's gotta be between 12 and 6. It's like we're getting old.
Oh yeah, no, it's gotta. I mean, like my stomach's gotta be ready for something like that, and I'm not doing that before. Like I've been up for at least a few hours. You know what I mean?
We're too close to bedtime.
So, yeah. I mean, you do feel way better if you stop eating past a certain time, but you can't always do that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could, but
you can.
night like tonight, like I'm drinking, I'm eating a little too like late and shit, but I'll be okay as long as I get some sleep. Like I said, I don't use them, so I didn't actually know how comfortable, or I mean, I figured they would be some sort of more comfortable than they used to be. I think like either no, I was gonna say I thought one of the Montgomerys used those, but I think it was because one of them was like flat-footed, so they used something else or whatever they do.
An arch
I think Nick
support
is.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use put like arch support in your shoes, so like artificial arch for your feet.
Crazy. I think that's what it was. But no, if they're comfortable, then they're probably underrated then, because I didn't even know much about them, and I don't use them. My feet would probably benefit from.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like
comfortable
tennis shoes or like kind of nice shoes, it's not probably as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But once your shoes kind of start wearing down, like the sole of them, or you have like boots or something that kind of don't have as much of a cushion in the sole, they are kind of worth it. Like, went over the pharmacy aisle, and like they got like a whole section of the aisle. Like just doctor shows like different inserts. Like massage cushion, work cushion. Like, I didn't know there's this many styles of cushions for your feet.
Dr. Scholl's, man, he's got like all kinds of stuff, doesn't he? Like different products and shit.
I think so.
Yeah, I would probably say, I mean, I haven't tried them, but I mean, I imagine, just kind of helps out the
they're
health
nice.
of your foot over the course of a day.
I'm sure the podiatrist probably, isn't that the foot doctor? They probably appreciate him.
Petty.
Or they might not appreciate
Manny
him.
Petty. Yeah, probably.
Might be like, they're fucking taking away our business.
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Underrated.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, if you can vouch for them and you think they're, I wouldn't suspect they'd make it any less comfortable, because why would you even wear them if that was the case?
Yeah, if you have like a tennis shoe or something though, the only thing that sucks about it is they take up too much
room
of your cushion. Then almost
that's why it raises your feet to the top of the foot.
That's why they're good for like boots and stuff, or shoes with a little more room in them.
All right, well, I got a simple food one to throw at you real quick. I don't know if we've ever done this, but I'm just going to throw it out there. They're convenient, they're easy, they're cheap. Lunchables, what do you think?
Oh, no.
We both eaten a fuckload of Lunchables out there.
The pizza ones, fire.
We ate them a lot. I got them packed in my lunch back in the day quite a bit, and I definitely bought them whenever I'm just gonna chow on this real quick.
The ham, cheese, and cracker ones are even really good, or the turkey cheese and cracker.
The nacho one.
The nacho one's great. I think Lunchables are definitely fair. I mean, nowadays, a Lunchables like a snack. I'm not gonna have that as like, that's my meal.
Well, now they
lunch.
raise the bar. They're like, you can have the sandwich, you can microwave and cook it. It's gonna come with a prime sports drink.
But it's like, how am I gonna? I'm not doing this at school. You know what I mean? You're not going to microwave your shit.
They do have microwaves to where you can though.
Yeah, but I mean,
especially now, man.
And that's another problem. Then they probably got 3 microwaves, and all the kids got to fucking microwave their Lunchables.
These teachers now for these kids will I'll get it for you, honey. And they probably take it to the microwave and bring it back to them. I can't.
Remember we had to eat the freaking cold ass chicken nuggets in the Lunchables? You had to shake the pack.
We fucking went through some shit.
Yeah, you put the powder in the bag, and then you just like close the bag and shook to get the seasoning on these cold as fuck chicken nuggets.
Oh man, yeah.
It was all worth it for that
We were
miniature
eating
Kit Kat
hardtack and shit.
Yeah. No.
These kids now, they need to be drinking fucking Red Dye 40.
Yeah.
Catch up to our fucking level.
Yeah, that's pulsing in our veins at this point.
Yeah, I know, it probably is.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. I always remember being like pumped as fuck in the Lunchables though to get the like mini candy bars you get with like Kit Kat or the Crunch or some shit.
It was nice when it came with the drink and everything. You know, you had the whole
Capri
setup.
Sun or something.
Yeah.
That was the deluxe Lunchables that came with the Capri Sun.
Might as well come with a drink if it comes with everything else too.
Remember the Capri Sun Roaring Water? It was like kind of a water Capri Sun.
Yeah.
I remember those being in the Lunchables a lot. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, because they were probably bitching that they don't do my sugar.
Yeah.
My little boy.
Get those Pacific coolers out of there.
Yeah, I like the fruit punch and the lemonade ones the most. Either way,
I
strawberry
haven't
kiwi, fucking dead last.
I think I'd drink all of them.
I got so sick of those. Well, I know. I mean, it was once upon a time fine, and then, and that's not even because of the artificial strawberry thing. Like, I appreciated my mom like packed it and used to put all this stuff like when I was a little boy, you know, and but that strawberry kiwi Capri Sun was put in there so much that I'm like, I got so fucking burnt out on it.
Yeah.
I just got way tired of it. But I really think the lemonade one and the fruit punch one are like grade A. The Kool-Aid ones, did you ever have those that are kind of,
jammers?
you know, the jammers?
Yeah.
Those are good too.
Yeah, those are good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed those ones were sugary, but those were good.
Yeah.
The jammers.
Even those little things, the little tubes where you twist off the top.
Oh yeah. I know.
You twisted the rubber or the plastic off.
What about the hugs? You remember the like little jugs that you peel the foil off the top?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, one time in like it must have been like first or second grade, then we were doing like story time after lunch, and this girl in my class, I don't remember who it was anymore, but she like drank one of those those hugs, and she was like reading reading the page for the class. She's just like,
oh no,
puked that whole hug up. It was like just blue liquid, and ever since then I've been like turned off on them hugs. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, ever since then,
yeah,
like 20
to this
years.
Day, I took a simple one like a few years back, and I'm like, that doesn't even taste good.
Oh man, no, I drink those sometimes, but yeah, I would drink a lot of Capri Suns, and then like when I get to high school and shit like that, like they always had the Powerades and stuff. I would get one of those like most days.
Mm-hmm.
So
Capri Sun, man, shit slaps.
Mm-hmm.
Lunchables, I'd say fair. I think that most people definitely give them credit and buy them. Even adults, like if they don't have kids, you know, you go to a store and you're like, fuck, I kind of want the nacho or the pizza Lunchable.
Yeah.
Like everybody's aware of them. They're not like it's not gourmet cuisine, but it's a fun little snack and it tastes pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's gone in like 3 bites
tasty.
now that I'm an adult, but
yeah. I don't think I've ever tried those ones you gotta heat up and do other shit to. There's like newer ones. They're trying to make it like
I'm from
fancy.
the Stone Age. All
yeah,
right?
and it's like we want some cold ass shit.
Give me the fucking cracker.
They're like, it's a ham and cheese, and we put this on it.
Yeah, it's like I'm not toasting my fucking Lunchable. That defeats the purpose of the Lunchable.
Oh shoot. I think we should call it. You think?
Yep.
Call it an old day on St. Patty's Day. Well,
Happy
ladies and
St.
gentlemen,
Patty's Day.
this has been the St. Patty's Day episode.
Yeah.
So, take care of yourselves out there. Have yourselves a great week, and we will see you on episode 171. Stay classy.